Chopper. The long fork chopper is one of the most recognizable forms of custom motorcycle design. Its most obvious feature is the dramatically extended front forks that push the front wheel far ahead of the frame. This style began appearing in the United States during the 1960s, when riders started modifying older motorcycles to create something that looked completely different from factory machines. By extending the forks, builders changed the entire silhouette of the bike. The motorcycle becomes longer, lower, and visually more dramatic. While the design can make turning slower and requires a steady hand at low speeds, it provides a smooth and stable feel when riding in a straight line. Over time, the long fork chopper became closely associated with the counterculture era, appearing in movies, magazines, and custom bike shows as a symbol of freedom and individuality. Old school chopper. The old school chopper represents the earliest generation of custom chopper building. These motorcycles were usually created from standard American bikes built in the 1950s and 1960s, especially models from Harley-Davidson. Riders would remove heavy or unnecessary parts, such as large fenders, bulky seats, and factory accessories. Frames were often cut and reshaped by hand to create a new riding position and a unique appearance. The work was usually done in small garages with simple tools, rather than professional workshops. Because of that, each bike carried small imperfections and personal touches that made it one of a kind. Old school choppers reflect a time when motorcycle customization was driven by creativity and mechanical curiosity rather than commercial custom shops. Bobber chopper. The bobber chopper blends elements from two related motorcycle traditions. Bobbers first appeared shortly after World War II, when riders began modifying their motorcycles to remove excess weight. Shortened fenders, smaller seats, and stripped-down frames were common features. Later, as chopper culture grew during the 1960s, some builders started combining the minimal look of bobbers with more dramatic frame modifications. The result is a motorcycle that remains simple and clean, but still carries the visual personality of a chopper. Bobber choppers usually have shorter forks than extreme chopper builds, but they often include custom handlebars, unique fuel tanks, and a lowered stance. This combination makes them both stylish and relatively practical to ride. Frisco-style chopper. The Frisco-style chopper developed in the San Francisco Bay Area during the height of the custom motorcycle movement in the 1960s. Riders in the city wanted motorcycles that looked custom but could still handle daily riding through crowded streets and steep hills. One of the defining features is the narrow fuel tank mounted high along the backbone of the frame. This placement gives the motorcycle a lean and purposeful appearance. Builders often removed the large front fender. The riding position usually remains balanced and comfortable compared to more radical chopper designs. Because of this practical approach, the Frisco style became popular among riders who wanted a custom motorcycle they could use regularly without sacrificing reliability. Psychedelic chopper. The psychedelic chopper reflects the artistic energy of the late 1960s and early 1970s. During this period, music, visual art, and motorcycle culture began influencing each other in powerful ways. Custom builders started experimenting with bold paint designs inspired by psychedelic posters and album artwork. Bright colors, swirling patterns, and complex airbrushed images turned motorcycles into moving pieces of art. These bikes often featured long forks, tall handlebars, and flowing shapes that emphasized visual impact. The goal was not only to build a motorcycle, but to create something expressive and unique. Psychedelic choppers captured the experimental spirit of their time and showed how motorcycle design could cross into the world of creative art. Digger chopper. Digger choppers became popular during the 1970s when custom builders began pushing motorcycle design toward more extreme shapes. These bikes are known for their long and low stance, which makes the motorcycle appear stretched across the road. The frames are often extended, and the rear tires can be much wider than those on earlier choppers. Fuel tanks and seats are usually sculpted to blend together smoothly, creating a continuous flowing shape. Chrome plating and metallic paint finishes became common features, highlighting the curves and angles of the design. While many digger choppers were built mainly for display at custom motorcycle shows, their bold styling had a strong influence on later generations of custom bikes.